about the grind, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
Nasties, welcome back to EST Afternoons, and we got something special for you today. No, I'm not talking Edmonton Oilers. I'm talking someone special in the William Huff Studios. We got a lot of things going on. We got 6 o'clock a lager, the birdie booze so the Kings lose, and now to my special friend, my partner, my colleague. He's from Chile, but he's going to make you hot today. Please welcome back to the program, the lovely and talented Hernan.
Hola! ¿Cómo están, amigos?
Good to have you back, buddy.
Did you miss me?
No.
No?
I did,
I don't think anyone did, to be honest.
I did. It was weird because I was gone.
Yeah.
And then you went like I thought you were on a secret mission or something like that because you went dark. Nothing from you.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was trying to text you, get a hold of you. I was worried about the cartels. What happened? If you were gone?
No, it was good. Vacation, man. You know, you just put everything away, chime in from time to time, but it was great, man. Like, darts, drinks,
oh my God,
pools. The ocean.
Oh, right.
Like you grew up by the ocean.
Yeah.
Like is there any, like, I love the sound of the ocean, man. Like there's nothing better. Nothing better, Joaquin. Like I loved it. Waking up to that, going to bed, hearing the waves, and it's just great. Fun trip, a lot of good food, great time. Happy to be back. As something big's going on today?
I think, yeah.
What's going on?
Well, we had a big F1 race, so everyone's talking about it.
Welcome to EST Afternoons. It is Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubusch, the producer, Hernan Salas here with you as we get you ready for Game 1. Oilers, Kings. How fired up are you? I think you're not going to be too happy with me and Gage as we make our predictions, but yeah, hey, it's going to be fun. We're going to talk a lot of NHL. We'll chime in on some F1, WrestleMania. That was a dud, an absolute dud. But we'll have some fun. And of course, at 2:20, John Hoven, he's from the Mayor's Manor out there in Los Angeles, has been covering the team for years. He's going to join us at 2:20 to tee up this game. Of course, a reminder, Reed Wilkins will go an extra half hour from 3 to 6:30. And then Tommy Gazzola, Matt Cassie, and myself will jump on from 6:30 to 8. And then we'll see you all at BP's Westgate for Game 1 between the Kings and Oilers. Zach, how you doing, my friend? Did you miss me?
I did miss you, Hernan. You might act a little bit glum, like that final day that you were here. You're kind of packing it in, as you do right before vacation. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I'm happy to see that you enjoyed your time off. I'm a little upset though. You were bragging about your legs, but we never saw really any pictures. As Gager said, you basically went dark and enjoyed your time off.
You got to pay to see my legs.
Oh,
yeah. You got to pay.
OnlyFans just to pay the bills, huh, buddy?
Yeah. Though there's no way you're seeing the legs for free. So they got a nice bronze color right now from all the sun I had, and it was great. Before we get to all the Oilers news, Joaquin, I want to get to this real quick. Battle of Ontario. Pretty one-sided yesterday.
I loved the start of it. Just everyone finished their checks. Just a completely different style of game. Emotions got the better of the Ottawa Senators. From a normally kind of disciplined team, very uncharacteristic, and the Leafs feasted on the power play. So I would expect a completely different Game 2 in that series, which I'm looking forward to again. Hopefully, all you hear about is when people talk, and Brendan Gallagher was talking about it too, with essentially kind of the same situation with that Montreal Canadiens team, where they're all young, first time experiencing that. That it's going to be a lot of emotions there. just being able to deal with it all. You know, you don't. I mean, they all say it. You don't let it get too high, and you don't let it get too low. And sometimes even getting the low parts are just as bad as the high parts too, right?
Yeah, just a team that hasn't been in the playoffs. Not a lot of experience. They looked a little. What did you say before we went on air? What was the word you used?
Probably good. Forget it.
Yeah, it just looked like an immature team, and hopefully they're better in that second game because
overzealous is
overzealous. That's the word, and that's true. I'll give you some Oilers notes from their skate earlier today. Frederick is a game time decision. If you listen to his pregame presser, sounds like a guy who's going to play tonight. So he will probably come in. It sounds like he came off early, Kapanen stayed out late, so he'll probably play with RNH and Mr. Jeff Skinner. I kind of like that line. Wallman will play tonight. Kulak is also in as his wife welcomed their second daughter into the world, I think earlier this morning, but he will be here. I mean, he will be in LA for game one. Klimberg is out. Evander Kane is out. Of course, we heard that news on the weekend. Stuart Skinner starts game one as we all anticipated, Joaquin.
Not me. I didn't.
For real? No.
I obviously I changed after the last week and a half.
Okay.
But I thought there was a possibility. It all depended on how Stuart Skinner performed in those two games. And kind of that last game by Pickard kind of solidified the coaching staff's decision, I think, in that regard. All
right. So it'd be Hyman, McDavid, Brown, Podkolzin with Arvidsson and Draisaitl. We're anticipating it's going to be Jeff Skinner, RNH, and Trent Frederick. If not, it's going to be Kasperi Kapanen. And then your fourth line will be Janmark, Henrique, and Perry. Defensively, it's probably going to be Nurse Bouchard, Kulak, Wallman, and then Emberson. And Coach also said this morning that game time decision if they're going to go with Cam Dineen or Josh Brown. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I wish Troy Stetcher was healthy. Oh, boy. I think they're going to... Listen, we're talking about the sixth defenseman here. They're going to play, obviously, but they're probably going to be the lowest in minutes when it comes to that. Do you have a preference, Josh Brown, Cam Dineen?
You know, I just haven't seen Dineen enough. He seems like he gets around okay. There's a good pass there, but such a small sample size. And this is a different beast, right?
Yeah.
You're getting pressured every single time when you touch the puck. Any sort of defensive zone faceoffs, you really don't want Emberson and Brown being caught out there because you know that the big dogs are coming out, right? So whoever's faceoffs are going to be so. I love playoffs because it's almost like, you know, when you don't watch baseball and you go to the playoffs and then you start learning the batting order and the strategy. So now every faceoff, the puck possession, icings, they all mean so much.
It's going to be crazy, the line matching. And I think Cam Dineen, obviously, is a better skater. Very inexperienced when it comes to the NHL game. He is a pro. He's been a pro for a while now. Josh Brown, listen, the toughness, sure, he's going to be physical, but can he keep up? Because we saw it with Vinny Desharnais last year.
But that was against a quicker team, though. Are the Kings that? They're not.
I mean, if Kempe catches Josh Brown down the wing, it's over. Seriously.
No, I don't mean that. I mean it just the work in the corners, like Fiala spinning off. I'm looking at like Fogel's pretty quick. You know, just those first couple steps, he might struggle.
It's not ideal. Okay, so let's look at it this way, Joaquin, because I don't think we share Dusty's optimism. Because if you hear Dusty, it's like the Oilers are playing the Sharks in the wrong one. I'm kidding, Dusty. We love you. Goaltending, I think Kemper's the best goalie in the series. Fair?
If over the last season, yes. Sure. I'll agree with that.
Defensively, I give the edge to the Kings. Especially without Matthias Ekholm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no one on the Oilers like Drew Doughty. And I know Drew Doughty's older and a little bit past his prime, but there's no one like him.
I mean, if Drew Doughty's on the Oilers,
it's over.
He's probably the best
defenseman.
So.
That's what I mean. Now, forward-wise, you always give the edge to Oilers because of 97 and 29.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
agree.
It's a pretty even series. And I know we're talking about their home ice, how dominant they were in the regular season, the head-to-head games. Gager, do you throw that all out the window come this game?
Well, it's weird because I don't with the predictions, but you kind of have to like everything changes till the drop of the puck.
Yeah.
You know, and you just kind of, it's fascinating. I want to see what happens because like I was telling like Reed and Jay before we were talking about it, and just everything's the volume's turned up everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of tonight's game, and even Dash in the Park was saying, he was asking about the switch. You know, we always say, oh, it's a switch. Can the Oilers just flick the switch and turn on this mode? And for them to do, I don't think that's possible, but there is maybe a way. And the way that you do that, I think, is Connor McDavid coming out and laying someone out first chance he gets. Like gets in on the forecheck and finishes it on like Doughty, right? Or Leon does it. I do believe that'll resonate throughout the whole group going, oh, he's doing it. We all do it. Yeah. And so they're really going to have to be leaders, not only with point production, but with the temperature of the game and the way that the game's played. They're going to have to be emotional, physical, and spiritual leaders.
I think the Oilers will be ready to go. They're a team that's, you know, they've learned a lot of lessons throughout this kind of core's tenure right now. So I don't expect anything but a really solid game by the Oilers. I also, on the flip side, don't think the Kings lose one game, they're rattled. I don't think a team with Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty don't get rattled. I'm sorry. Like if the Oilers win tonight, I don't think it's over. I don't think LA is going to be like, oh man, we can't beat these guys. I truly don't believe that. I think LA is ready to go as well. They're probably more motivated than they ever have been, Gage. And they probably think this is their best chance. Because the Oilers come in, and I know Connor McDavid has said, I don't like the narrative that we're the walking wounded. Well, you were. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're missing your best defenseman. So for me, it's going to be a tough series, Gage. Like you know, I'm on the other side. I know there's a lot of people think that this is going to be an Oilers victory. I think this is going to be a grind, man. Because last year it wasn't. They won in 5.
But they won because of the subpar goaltending. I don't want to say subpar. I'll say it was okay goaltending. I think they went to Big Save Dave late because Talbot couldn't. He was okay, but he just couldn't make that extra save, right? And that's what I worry about because let's face it, when Darcy Kemper has made the extra save all year, and it's been too sporadic for Stuart Skinner to have he never really put together a stretch where you just weren't getting a bad one on him. You know, like usually you go through a stretch where you're just so dialed in. It seemed like, you know, he'd play a few games in a row and then there would be a couple goals in there. You go, well, those are stoppable, you know? So, yeah, you have to give the edge to the Kings. And that's the biggest piece of why the Oilers have beat the Kings last 3 times.
How big for you, Gagers, is the loss of Ekholm?
We were, well, you decided to take off. We were beating this to death, and I just think it's the Grand Canyon. Yeah, it's a cavernous hole that you can't replace, and you just hope that you got the little Dutch boys putting their fingers in the dam and just holding.
Because you're going to need Bouchard to return to playoff form from last year. You're going to need Jake Wallman to take an extra step here. Kulak, who's been spectacular most of the season, he always takes a step up in the playoffs. So I'm not worried about Kulak.
And communication is going to be so key for Evan Bouchard playing with Darnell Nurse. Like, Darnell needs to be he should barely have a voice after each game because are you telling me the Kings aren't going to force Bouchard every chance they get? And they're going to finish every single check. I mean, on every D, right? But that's when you see the number 2 on the Kings. If I'm the coach, I'm going, we force him every single time, right? And we finish our checks.
The also part that's a little worrisome about that pairing, I don't want Darnell to go out of his way to get out of position, right?
He's got to play his game, right? And that was his Achilles heel, I think, for the better part of all last year, was trying to do too much. Yeah. And if he feels like he has to cover for him and not play his game, then Darnell Nurse isn't as effective as he has been because he's been a stud, man. He's been really, really good all year.
He's been excellent, like a complete turnaround from last year, what we saw in the playoffs. Emberson gets a nice 2-year extension, low cap hit. Hopefully he doesn't have a no movement clause, but we'll wait on that. He's a good player, but you know what, Gager, he started with a lot of high expectations from media and fans alike. And then they kind of dipped, right? Everybody was like, just let him play on that third pair. He kind of started, taking baby steps. He was playing good. I think towards the end of the season, I know he scored a couple goals and all that, but I thought he dipped again a little bit.
Who?
Ty Emberson.
Oh, yeah. There was a well, they went to Stetcher for a long period of time there. Yeah. And maybe we didn't take too much, didn't have the ISO-cam on him enough, but there was obviously a reason they took him out of the lineup. He's going to have to find, and we were talking about him, I think it was in January. Yeah. Like, this guy's really coming along. We gave him the kiss of death because he went right in the pooper after that.
Yeah, we did.
And then but even then we were kind of saying that he needs to, even though there's a steady progression, he's going to need to find another level come playoff time. But now, so he just signed a deal, right? And so maybe, just maybe, here's my thing for Oilers fans. This is something to look into and feel good about yourselves. Maybe there was contract negotiation talks. He was, what's going to happen? Am I going to be here? Do I have to, all these other things, and maybe those came in and started affecting the way he played. Yeah. Now that he's got the deal done, he knows where he's going to be. The wife's settled. Everything's done. Maybe he can just get back to focusing solely on hockey, and we'll see the Emberson that we saw closer to that middle of January where we saw that steady increase.
Steady Eddie. Yeah. So there's always
great
concern.
Point, Gager.
No, it was great. It was great. No, and that's why I brought it up, because I think he's kind of gone like this, and he's another guy that they might need to step up, Joaquin.
Oh yeah. And that's the hole. Everyone's got a shovel trying to fill in the Ekholm hole, right?
Yeah,
and just keep piling the dirt in there.
And we'll see. Listen, we're gonna preview this game a lot today. We're gonna talk a little bit of F1, WrestleMania, NBA playoffs. LeBron crying again because he didn't get a foul. I wanted to show Dusty that clip, but we'll let it go. We'll let it go as they're down 1-0. But we'll continue to preview Oilers Kings Game 1 here on EST Afternoons. You have questions for us? Send them in to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, or on the Nasty Chat. We have 193 watching, and we only have 22 thumbs up. It's Oilers playoffs. We should be hitting 150 a day. Let's go. Slam that thumbs up for us. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Make sure to check out the Seaweed Band and Firestone Band on May 2nd, or Los Lobos. They'll be singing La Bamba on May 15th. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com or at the River Cree box office. Up next, we'll look at the LA Kings lineup. Take your questions as well here on EST Afternoons. We're back after the break. Here's Koob. Sports Update time.
It's Oilers Kings Game 1 down in LA. Stuart Skinner starts for Edmonton as head coach Chris Knobloch says that Trent Frederick is a game time decision as he continues to recover from an ankle injury. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas bring you the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with extended coverage 90 minutes before puck drop, live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. Tune in at 6:30 only on EST. And there's 3 other playoff games on tap. Game 1 between the Caps and the Habs opens up the night before the Blues take on the Jets. Winnipeg up 1-0 in the series, while the Avs hold the Stars 1-0 entering Game 2. On the court, there's 2 games having the Pistons battle the Knicks in Game 2 after Detroit dropped Game 1. While the Nuggets tip off with the Clippers, Denver leading 1-0 in the series. And Edmonton-born Ansi Salah has been promoted to general manager of Atlanta after the Hawks fired Landry Fields. From Houston, the Jays challenged the Astros with Kevin Gausman starting for Toronto, seeing 8 games around the MLB. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, and whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage roll on once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries, all at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
.123, welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, live from the William Huff Studios as we're getting you ready for Game 1 between the Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings. The playoffs are finally here. AB on the Nazi chat says, can't be showing leg picks for free in this economy, Gage. Yeah, and then where's... let me see here. Where did it go? Rip City Steps and a good one, but I can't find it now. He said I was away at calf implant clinics.
Oh.
That's why I was off the grid.
I went to Turkey for calf implants.
Calf implants. No. And then someone said I have that Mexico glow. How many cervezas did you have in Mexico? Ooh, JCD. How much time you got? I had a lot of micheladas and chiladas.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you like that? You're a beer guy. Well, no. Like, I don't know. Are you? Because I know I've seen you have beers, but you're not. You're more of a mezcal.
Well, yeah, I've switched gears a little bit. Not so many beers anymore. I don't know.
Did you ever like it with like the lemon and the salt and no?
What
the cervezas
with the lemon and salt?
Yeah, like a chilada.
No.
Okay.
No, I like my beers pure. I don't like. Okay. I mean. But there was a time when I put Clamato in there, and I thought that was great. But then I'm like, what am I doing here? What are we doing?
I love Clamato.
So yeah, I want to taste what the brewmaster had in mind.
That's fair.
You know, to me, it's kind of like putting A1 on a nice steak. You just don't do that.
This one says, I'm a Flames fan, and I still hit the like. No excuse not to. 63 now. Good numbers. Let's go. Hey, man, EST, Edmonton Sports Talk's going to cover this like nobody's business right now. We're going to have...
Thanks, BBJ. Jeez.
Yeah. That's a real trooper right there.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. Hey, you know what?
Good for the Flames, though, man.
Nice little run by the Flames there, man. There was a lot to...
All their young guys in that last game.
They put it together and won that game. Like, come on.
Is there any way we can get Dustin Wolf in it?
My gosh. Fingers crossed he can duplicate what he did this year. I mean, he's going to have to.
All Day Niners 007 says, got to try the Orange Crush with the beer. Yeah, that's a Chilean thing. That's really good. But you can only have one or two.
Or none.
In Chile, it's called a Fanta Chop. Chop means draft. So there you go. Joaquin, I'm going to read you the LA lines. You tell me what you think, okay?
Okay.
Line 1, Andre Kuzmenko, Anze Kopitar, Adrian Kempe.
Outstanding.
Second line, Quinton Byfield, centers, Alex Laferriere and Kevin Fiala.
Big, fast. Fiala's weak link defensively, but another really good line.
Third line, Philip Deneau between Trevor Moore and Warren Fogle.
This is the line that I think the Oilers need to worry about the most.
That's a good line, man.
They have the ability to shut down. They're physical. They get under the skin, but those timely goals from this line could spell disaster for Edmonton. I really like that line.
That's a really good line. As I was reading it to you, Joaquin, I was like, damn, that's a dangerous line.
Yeah. I mean, really, they have a number 1 and 2 2s. The way that they're all playing. Fogle, 24 goals this year?
Yeah,
Trevor Moore has always been good. And you know what? Deneau's a little longer in the tooth. The last couple games against the Oilers, I thought he lost a bit of a step, but let's see how he looks. He might have been saving himself for this time of year, too.
The two guys that always score on the Oilers, Kempe and Moore. They do.
Oh, yeah. Kempe owns, there's certain guys as a goaltender that just own you. They got the lease. It's a good rate, and it's a 20-year mortgage on you. They just beat you all the time. Yeah. And I wish you could break down where Kempe is shot on Stuart Skinner, but it seems like he shoots everywhere. A lot of guys have their spots or whatever, but he puts it somewhere different almost every time.
Yeah, he's fantastic. What a player. And their fourth line, this is where it drops off. Jeff Malott, Samuel Hellenius, and Alex Turcotte. Very young.
Who knows?
Inexperienced.
Can't let these guys.
No. And they
got to dominate that line.
They probably won't play a lot.
Because, line match-wise, who goes up against that line?
Yeah. Like the Oilers' fourth lines should dominate that line. Sorry, but they should. And that's the janitor, Henrique, and Perry.
Yeah, they can't let, the experience should outweigh the youth and skill.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Defensively.
Oh, boy.
Mikey Anderson with Drew Doughty. It doesn't get any better than that.
No.
Then you got Vladislav Gavrikov and Jordan Spence. Jordan Spence is very underrated, man. That kid can play. And then Joel Edmondson with Brant Clark, another really good young defenseman. And in net, Darcy Kemper. So it's a good lineup. Outside of that fourth line for the Kings, not a lot of weaknesses, Joaquin.
No.
I don't think the Oilers have weaknesses in their lines either. I think
they're good.
Yeah. I think in the D pairs, we might have some issues.
Yeah.
Can you see Darnell Nurse and Boucher are going to play a ton tonight?
Yeah, their minutes are going to be up. Way up. Because who is I guess it depends, but who do you think that Coffey tries to put them out against every time? Is it the Kopitar line or the Byfield line?
Well, do you want Nurse to kind of try to neutralize Byfield because they're both kind of the same build? Because then you got I'd probably go Kulak, Wallman against Kopitar's line and put Nurse out against Byfield.
Kopitar's still a big
beast,
dude, man.
And that's why you miss Matthias Ekholm so much, Joaquin. It's ridiculous. Jenna Till says Kings in 4. Suck it, Perry. Ooh.
Wow.
Not happy there. This one from Koob Fan Club. Give the people what they want. What does Koob think about Game 1? Koob, get on here.
Oh wow! I didn't know I had a Koob fan club. I kind of saw that nosing in the nasty chat. I'm really curious as to who that is. Who has a fan club?
Tell your mom to stop.
Me.
Okay, wait, Koob. Don't give your prediction yet. We'll do that at the end of the show for the series. But what do you think of Game 1, of the lines we just read out, of Ekholm being out? Give it to us, Koob.
Oilers always lose Game 1. So in the McDavid and Draisaitl series, if they lose Game 1, I don't think it's the end of the world, but I think they drop it just as history shows. So I'm going to go with the safe pick and say they drop Game 1 by a score of 4-2, empty netter.
Oh, look at Koob bringing the heat right away. Bring in the heat, Gage, or someone on Spency 5 Cents. He's texted into our inbox and he wants you to help him with his F1 line. We'll get to F1 later in the show, but that's pretty funny. Ken Bauer says, Michelada here in Mexico is with lime and salt in the glass with beer. Yes, Ken, we love that stuff. Hope you enjoyed your trip to my adopted country, Hernan. Ken Bauer's been in Mexico for years. Back in 1260, he would text in and listen to us all the time from Mexico. I don't know which part of Mexico he's in. Let us know there. All right. I'll ask you this one. X factor for the Edmonton Oilers in this series.
You know where I'm going, because there's not a lot of faith in it at all, is Stuart Skinner.
That's a good one.
He's like, I know Jay went around the office and asked who's drinking the Pisani juice, and I wish I could switch because I'm going to say Stuart Skinner. He's going to have to outdo, again, goalies that in every series, if you look at the path and even all the teams that are playing, you're going to give the edge to probably every other team in net. So a little bit of nice to be an underdog, have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, something to prove. I'm going to go with Stewie Skins.
That's a good one. I think that's a big one for a lot of people. And Jenna, I'm on to you, as Dak says, haha, you got Hernan to say the name. Jenna Tills. Oh, boy. We're so immature on this show. I'm a little rusty as well. But that's a good one. I'm going to say Mr. Number 2.
Oh, yeah. That's.
I mean, this guy has had a bad season. I don't care what your analytics say. Defensively, Joaquin.
Yeah.
Defensively. I think offensively he's fine. He scores. He has a ton of points. He's
his
good.
Puck movement is elite.
It's elite.
He doesn't get enough credit for some of the passes that he makes during the game.
Yeah,
are absolutely ridiculous.
And there's a reason why they keep throwing him out there. It's
yeah.
because of that talent. He had 67 points. He fell off a bit from last year. Obviously, he had 15 points more last season, but 14 goals, 53 assists. He was a plus 14. But for me, this guy's, especially with Matthias Ekholm, he's got to help out Kulak and Nurse and Wallman. And when I say help out, like, I think the offense is going to be fine. I think it's got to be defensively. Like, he cannot have those giveaways or those lax back checks or being weak in front of the net, because LA is going to come at him. They know it. They're going to be like, go after 2. He will eventually make a mistake, and it's going to cost the Edmonton Oilers. So for me, the big X factor is number 2. So let us know on the River Korean box, 780-218-9999, or hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Who is your X factor for the Edmonton Oilers in this series? Game is 8 o'clock. I think puck drops 8:22. This is a little bit late.
It's a little late. It's a little bit late.
Will Farrell probably be in the crowd?
Man, what happens if there's OT tonight?
Oh, boy. Don't even say that, man.
There will be OT in this series.
Eventually, yes. It's weird, Joaquin, because I haven't done post-game shows in a while. And, like, you know, with my years with the Elks, I was watching as a fan. So there's a lot more nerves. I think today's going to be a little bit different because you're kind of analyzing the game and you're breaking it down. You're not as emotionally invested in it.
Yeah, I guess.
At least for, like, you know, because now we have to break it down the next day and all that. I think it changes kind of the way you watch the games. And you
I always found it tough to do post game because, I don't know, maybe it was like after a game, even as a player, sometimes if it went wrong, you kind of want to blow up and yell and things. And then I said, I got to talk to the guys tomorrow about this. And then you'd go home, you'd go to bed, you wake up the next day and go, what am I doing? We'll just, cooler heads always prevail. So that's why post-game shows are fun, because you're still all amped up from the game itself.
You might say stuff you regret.
Yeah. And then the next day you're like, why did I say that?
Yeah.
You know? But no, it's a different lens that you watch the game through. But there's so many cool little undercurrent things of this series that I'm looking forward to watching, right? The line matchups has got to be one. Mm-hmm. I want to see who gets the assignments of trying to limit Connor and Leon? How quickly does Nobla just put those two together? What's the do we hit the stopwatch?
You want to see Hernan lose it on the post game show? That better not happen early on.
And I want to see Doughty will probably, that pairing will probably go up against McDavid the most.
Probably,
I would think, because Doughty never shuts up, and he's always in Connor's ear. Connor kind of skates away. I remember Modano used to do the same thing. Like, he didn't have time for Todd Marchand yelling at him. He was just, but yeah. And then of course the biggest one of all is the goaltender battle. Who can make who can take the most goals away?
And here's the thing. It's like people are so harsh on Jeff Skinner, on Stuart Skinner. Like, look at Allmark yesterday. Look at his playoff numbers. He's not very good.
I didn't know they were that low, right? Great regular season, and yesterday's game for him kind of status quo come playoffs. And you can't fault him too much. Still, I mean, the first goal, I don't know if you saw the first goal, Ekman Larsson, great. God, he's good, man. The way he just delayed and found that open ice, just subtly came up as that second wave and took his time. Although it's right from the slot, still a stoppable puck. That's where you need to save. And they got that from Stolarz, like breakaway, all those things.
And you make a good point, because in fairness, Marner breakaway, 5-on-3 goal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's not completely on him, but there were certain points in the first period, a couple goals where you think, maybe, I don't know. Got to find a way, man.
Calvin says Jeff Skinner for his X factor. Pat says Fogle. We said Oilers, Pat. All Day Niners says Kane if he comes back. Fancy 5 Cents, he says X Factor Arvidsson. He was looking to start to pick it up late in the season, looking for vengeance. Yeah, he was good. Dusty, not our Dusty, says whoever actually plays physical will be the X Factor. Interesting. Let's hear. Oh, he's the other number 2. Nothing on the inbox regarding the X Factor for the game. Damn it. I just had a question and I totally lost my train of thought, Joaquin.
Uh-oh.
Let me think. Think, Hernan. Think. Hey, we're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. That's better, guys. 75 thumbs up. We're only 75 away from 150, which is our playoff target goal. We appreciate that. We got 211 watching. We should hit 150, no problem, if everybody that's watching slams that thumb up. We'll continue to tee up Oilers Kings. It's going to be a great day. If you're going to be P. Westgate, let us know on the Nasty Chat or the River Cree inbox. I know Eric's going. I know YouTube Trev's going. Lieutenant Eric, you're not going.
No, I'll be zooming in.
All right. Koob, are you going?
I will not be.
Why not?
I love watching playoff games with my dad.
Oh, okay, fair
he's
enough.
not going to be coming down there, but I'll try and get to one of the on locations. That's for sure.
I'm going to go have some wings.
Ooh. You're going to have the real hot ones?
Yeah, with one hand.
Yeah.
Like normal people eat.
Yeah.
I
You
heard
heard
it was
that?
a discussion. Yeah. Who eats wings with 2 hands?
I guess these numbskulls.
Like, you're not 6.
Yeah, I dig in.
Oh, boy.
Dig in.
I don't
You
take
can
it
dig
light.
in.
I dig into the wing.
Should I try what do they call the atomic?
Yeah.
You think I can?
Just have a couple, maybe.
Yeah.
But you want to enjoy them, right?
You got to guard your plate because you don't want Gazzola to.
You got to eat like you're in prison.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be great, man. Playoff vibes. I'll be down at AP's. The GF's going to Nelly tonight.
Really?
Rogers. Yeah.
way.
So, hey, downtown's going to be busy. Get down there early if you're going to the Moss
So
Pit.
Nelly's there. He's at Rogers?
Yeah.
No watch party.
No watch party there. But they have the Moss Pit and I think the tent beside
Oh, the
it.
tent? Okay.
So it's going to be really, really busy. And listen, if you're going down to those Oiler events downtown, please behave. Don't be throwing beers and starting fights and creating a ruckus. Enjoy it. Just celebrate your team. Don't act like a fool. Be safe out there. Let's get everybody to have a good time and get home safe. All right?
Sounds good.
Don't act
Okay.
like an
right.
idiot.
You don't have to keep telling me.
Joaquin will be down at the Moss Pit.
No fighting. All right.
No fighting. Okay, we're back after the break here as we'll continue to talk Oilers and Kings. Keep the messages coming to the River Creek inbox, 780-218-9999, and the nasty chat. But first, the Canadian Brewhouse. Portion of this hour is brought to you by the CBA. The showdown continues at the Canadian Brewhouse. Wing flavors of the month, Dillionaire sauce versus passion fruit habanero. Cool versus fiery. Cool reigns supreme. Come taste the madness at the Canadian Brewhouse. Here's Koob, Sports Update.
Game day is finally here. Edmonton visits LA for Game 1 of the playoffs. Leon Draisaitl and Jake Wallman return to the lineup. Trent Frederick is a game-time decision for the Oilers, and Stuart Skinner takes the crease. And live from Boston Pizza Westgate, Tom Gazzola has the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show alongside Hernan Salas 90 minutes before puck drop right here on EST. Tune in at 6:30. And from Washington, the Capitals and Canadians clash in Game 1. Elsewhere, we see Avs Stars Game 2. Colorado activating Gabe Landeskog off the injured reserve as Dallas trails 1-0 in the series, while the Jets look to take a 2-0 lead over the Blues. And on the court, Detroit hosts New York as the Knicks hold the Pistons 1-0 entering Game 2. The Warriors and Rockets go at it with Houston looking to tie the series in their second meeting. And having 8 games in the MLB, the Jays and Astros duke it out. Kevin Gausman gets the ball for Toronto. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf. With 240 unique courses and technology that automatically tees the ball up for you, Gimme Virtual Golf is where innovation meets a game. Visit their website at gimmevirtualgolf.ca. More with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
When it comes to fresh food at the table to be shared, there might be an agreement at the start, but things change once the food goes cold.
If it was in one bowl, you're in food sharing territory. You separated them and you went, we're not sharing this anymore. So now it's no longer a shareable thing, and you finished yours and you didn't let him finish his.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
.145. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here from the William Huff Studios in the west side of the city, man. And we were just talking about the weather in the break. Just need some sun, Gager. Need something. Landeskog activate. Good for the Avs. Good for him, man.
Nice.
It's been a long journey back from
3
that
years.
injury.
Should be good.
Hey, and they look good in the first game. Now, unfortunately for the Stars, they lost Robertson in the last game. That's the risk you take, right?
Yeah.
And Heiskanen's getting closer, but
still not for the first round, though. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, it's
might be too late by then.
Might be too late. On the River Korean box, Amos says X Factor Frederick. Hopefully, go Oilers. Big Dave says, I think the X factor will be the Skinners. If Jeff and Stewie can really get going, they could really make a difference in this series. And I did want to get to, how about this, Joaquin? Give me a sec here. No, that's not the one. After 15 years, 1,000 over 1,000 regular season NHL games, Jeff Skinner will make his postseason debut. How crazy is that?
So he's playing tonight?
It seems he's on the line with RNH and possibly either Kapanen or
Frederick.
I kind of like that line if Frederick's on.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I like that going up against that Moore line.
Yeah. Are you a little surprised Kane's not ready? Because according to him, he's ready.
Look, man, you take a year off. You don't skate a lot. You've been bag skated a bit. It's just not the same. Who knows what type of shape he's actually in? It's not going to be game shape, you know.
No,
and that's just a different, like the physical nature of his game, battling in the corners and not doing it. That you don't just pick up where you left off with that. So I don't know. I don't. I'd like to see where he's at, but I think you're trying to just inject maybe some juice at some point, or if someone gets injured, maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but we'll see what happens. Or right in the Pine says, love the Gager. But as I found out last year, Oilers don't get wins unless Gager predicts against them. So now my superstitions are...
I did say, I think well, no, maybe I said the Kings were going to win, but after game 2, I said, no, the Oilers are going to win this series. I thought. But yeah, the rest of the way I was not well liked in this city because I predicted them to lose every series after that.
Did you really?
Yeah. I didn't think they were going to do it.
Well, 3 years ago, the Oilers won in 7. 2 years ago, they won in 6. Last year, they won in 5. Sweep?
No,
I don't think so either.
You can't put all that in.
I'd be floored if it was a sweep.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen, but I think these are all. Do you think they're all like 1-goal games?
I do.
I think so.
Like a lot of the games so far in the playoffs haven't been that good. They've been kind of Winnipeg Blues was good.
The last night's game, the Knights and Wild was good.
Pretty close, yeah.
That was good. The Jets game was good. That was good.
It was good.
That was a really good game.
That was a good game, man. I was looking at Hellebuck after the third goal, and I was like, uh-oh. But then Winnipeg turned it on in the third.
Yeah. Scheifele's, he's next level.
I still think the Blues are going to be tough out.
Oh, yeah. And like even on the game-winning goal, like although Bennington was a step behind and he's still almost there.
Yeah.
And it just touched his shoulder.
And Kairu's goal was top cheddar. Yeah. And a little bit of a screen on Hellebuck.
Yeah.
But that's a good team, man. And they're missing Ehlers and Velarde. Like, that's a really, really good team. So kudos to them. So I'll ask you this. How concerned are you about the guys that are coming back? Like a Wallman, Draisaitl? Like, no, they could have sat out just as maintenance. But a lot of these guys, from what we understand, were hurt. Are you a little bit... worried or concerned that they could re-injure this stuff going into this series?
That's weird because I think I said this before. I thought McDavid was more injured than Draisaitl, right? But McDavid ended the year playing.
And he looked great.
And he looked unreal. So shows you why I didn't go to medical school. Leon was I think Leon's more Connor just can't not play. I think Leon was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait.
Yeah,
I don't need to do this anymore. I'll save it. I'm not saying he wasn't hurt, but I'm just saying he's given him his best chance to heal up. There was no need for him to play those games, and I think he was more along the mindset, I'm just going to wait till playoffs. The one that worries me most is Trent Frederick, right? And that's probably because what we saw when he first went in, 7.5 minutes? And although it looked great, the kind of player he is and what he brings, really disappointed that he wasn't good to go and could continue on a regular pace. But like everyone said, and I've never had a high ankle sprain, but I've known guys that have had one. And, those are things that just, they don't heal until you just stop putting on that skate for a few months, and then it'll give it a chance to.
I remember Frederick, the only 7 minutes that he's played has been against in LA. Right? And he might play tonight. We don't know that yet.
We don't.
Castor says it's Hyman back. Yes, he's back. He's on the first line. Hyman at 50% is good enough. I think he's a little bit higher than that. Wallman was an interesting one too. Don't know when he got hurt, and then you hear when they interview him, he's like, "I'm fine."
Yeah.
So it's like, and then Knobloch saying this guy, and the player saying something else. So it's been a little bit frustrating, but sounds like most of them will play today. Right now, we don't know. Frederick did leave the morning skate earlier, which usually means you're playing. Kapanen stayed out to do some extra work. Usually means you're not playing. So he might slide in with RNH and Skinner. But we'll have to wait till about, 7:30-ish when they take line rushes down at the Crypto.com arena. Joaquin, I want to ask you this, and it's going to be on the kind of like the more like bad side. But let's just say the Oilers drop this game. I don't think Oilers fans should panic or lose their minds because you're starting on the road, man.
I think it's Maddie that always says you don't have to worry until you lose a game at home.
Yeah.
Right? And, I mean, talk about, I don't know, what do the betting lines say? They still give Oilers they're the favorite, are they not? Are they still the favorite?
Let me look.
Because I just look at the home record of the LA Kings this year is phenomenal, right? What is it? 4 games they lost all year at home?
Something like
that.
And
so if you can go in and steal game 1 after that dominating season at home, losing to the same team that you've lost the 3 years prior, I think there's something to that just to get a splinter of doubt. Not huge, because there's guys that have won Stanley Cups over there and have come back from 3-0s, right? So
good point.
There's a wealth of experience on that Kings team and in their leadership group. So, but just to get now a little bit more coverage, you'll have some Canadian reporters asking them those awful questions. Oh, do you think you can win? And just getting into having to just a little bit more eyes on your game itself. I think that can help the Oilers. So I'm not saying whoever wins this game is going to win the series, but it's definitely, it might be 2 steps forward, not just 1.
Yeah, because obviously we'll be on the post-game show following the game, probably just after 11. And listen, because they might lose tonight. Who knows? But if they do, I don't think there has to be this immense panic. Now, some people are going to be like, Hernan, you forget who you're talking to. Like, we live and die with every win and loss of the Edmonton Oilers, so I understand it. But I'll flip it to the other side. If the Oilers win, too, I don't think the series is over, like some are suggesting. Like, LA's going to think that they can't beat. It's 1 game, guys. And the rosters have changed. It's a different year. I think the LA Kings are a different team. Do you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because there's many suggesting they're not.
I mean, the EST parlay today, it is Connor McDavid plus 2 points, Leon Draisaitl plus 1 goal, and Edmonton Oilers to win plus 525. So, I mean,
Fancy 5 cents, he says Oilers are small favorites to win series.
Okay.
And Kings are a small favorite to win tonight.
Yeah. That's what it says.
Can I be honest with you? I don't like Connor Brown on McDavid's line.
What?
I don't. He's not an elite finisher. And I listen, I know the recency bias. He's played well there. I just don't.
Who's there then?
Skinner. I would have went Skinner, Hyman, McDavid.
I would have went Skinner, McDavid, Brown.
No. Brown will be off that line by the third period tonight.
Oh, I thought you meant third minute.
No, he can't go nuclear in this game. He can't.
Yes, he will.
But he can't.
He can't help himself. He hasn't had to be.
He hasn't had the opportunity.
Yeah. The only reason we haven't seen it is because Leon's out.
He's just itching to go to it.
That's what should have been on the Edmonton Sports Talk parlay. Going nuclear within the first 5 minutes.
Because if he does that, he's making it that much easier for the Kings. He is.
Yeah.
Because then you shut down one line and you're probably good. Coyote Steve says Kings will take series in 6. Skinner will be out goalied like always. Ooh, always.
Always.
He wasn't out goalied last year against Dallas. Or last year against LA.
Against LA, at the end, Vancouver.
Yeah.
She lost. He was better at the end and was much better than Ottinger.
Yeah.
I'm not in Ottinger's camp. Had one good playoffs, like I've said, and he lost it. It's funny because goalies can have great series, great games, and still lose, and you still look at them as something else. And I'm not saying like Ottinger's elite, but I don't know. Is he elite or is he just a really, really good goaltender? Because I don't know.
Fogle, Kuzmenko, Kemper only changes for LA. Well, not necessarily. Brand Clark's new. Edmondson's new. Their whole fourth line. I don't know if Turcotte played last year for them in the playoffs. I know he's been part of their team because they drafted him. And then they have Tanner Yanoa, which is a bonus for the Oilers.
Yeah, it says lower body with him. I was saying in between the break there, I'm glad he's out because he's a lot to handle, that guy. Where was he? He was in, was he starting?
Nashville.
Tampa Bay.
No, he went to Tampa from Nashville. Yeah, and he was just a beast in Nashville.
He's fallen off since his Nashville days. He's not the same player. Or maybe he is. He's just lower down the lineup. I don't know. Because remember, he played with Trennan. And
they were huge lines.
Yeah.
And they just beat the crap out of guys. They were very hard to handle. And he had some pretty good numbers the one year. And then obviously sought after, went to Tampa, never really fit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. But I think that's a bonus for the Oilers because that guy's physical, he's tough. He'll punch you in the face.
UFA next year.
UFA next year. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, we've hit a 100 thumbs up. We're 49 away from our playoff target of 150. It's Oilers game day. How pumped are you? What we want to hear from you, and we want you to send it in, and we'll read them all next on the River Cree box, 780-218-9999, or on the Nasty Chat. What are you doing for the game? What is the tradition in your family? Are you watching it at home, like Koob, whose tradition is to watch it with his pops? Or are you going to the Moss Pit? Are you going to an establishment? Are you getting together with friends? What are you doing for the game tonight? Let us know. That does it for hour one. It's good to be back. We'll continue to tee up Oilers Kings, talk some F1. John Hoven from Mayor's Manor will join us to get the LA side of things ahead of game one here. It's Joaquin Gage, it's Zach Kubusch, it's Hernan Salas, it's EST Afternoons. Keep hammering that thumbs up. We're back for hour two.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Game 1 between the Oilers and Kings shakes down. Stuart Skinner gets a start. Leon Draisaitl and Jake Wallman get inserted back into the lineup, and Trent Frederick is a game-time decision for the Oilers. 90 minutes before puck drop, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Gazzola on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. You can tune in right here on EST at 6:30. And for Colorado, Avs captain Gabe Landeskog has been activated off the injured reserve ahead of Game 2 between Dallas and Colorado. Dallas trailing 1-0 in the series. Elsewhere, the Canadiens and Caps play Game 1 of their series, while St. Louis visits Winnipeg in Game 2. The Jets winning 5-3 in the opening game. Basketball has 2 matches. The Clippers and Nuggets tip off. Denver leads 1-0, while Detroit looks to tie their series in Game 2 against the Knicks. And in baseball, Kevin Gausman takes the mound for the Jays in their opener against the Astros. 8 total games on the MLB schedule. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, Hour 2. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, Zach Kubusch with you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. A little bit cold out there, but everybody's pretty pumped. Pretty damn pumped for Game 1 of the Edmonton Oilers. Hodgie says, always make a brisket for Game 1 of the playoffs.
Oh, do you?
Nice.
Nicely done.
I like that. Well, the Whistle Dog says Wilkins called for a sweep last week. Ooh.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, he went nuts. Yeah.
A nice sweep from Wilkins. I like it. Hey, at least he makes prediction.
Yeah.
Right. He wants all the smoke. Imagine they do, though. Holy smokes. That would be amazing. What are you guys doing for the game tonight? Guys and gals, you having people over, just watching it with your family, watching it by yourself, going to an establishment? Are you going to the Moss Pit? If you are, behave. Behave. Of course, Tom Gazzola will be down at BP's Westgate for pre- and post-game shows. A whole whack of staff are going down there as well.
Tommy's getting a pregame nap in. He's all,
he's
got his Snuggie on. He's all rested.
He's got the blanket. He's
Jesus
spread out on the recliner sofa right now, and he's
we had to turn the lights down.
Pregame nap for Tommy.
Do-rag on to protect the cheveux.
I might go get an oil change in between this show and pre.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Mr. Lube just down the street here, so it's usually not busy. So I hate waiting. Absolutely hate waiting. Like always, hit us up on the River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Nasty chat if you're listening. It's iHeart, TuneIn radio apps. Just slide on over to YouTube. Hit us, hit the thumbs up, and then go back to your audio stream. Also, Edmonton Sports Talk .com and the Edmonton Oilers. I think it's 8:22 puck drop. Gives me enough time to get to BP, so I don't miss 1 second of the game. Will Ferrell be there? Well, you have his face painted.
Someone said he should go as the cowbell character. Oh man!
Always like games in LA because there's always celebrities, right?
Yeah,
and it's.
I remember like this was in the old Forum, but we walked in and they had before our game, and they had like a celebrity game before, and like it was littered with stars.
Really?
Oh yeah. Who was there? I mean, B-list stars, but then at the Matthew Perry.
Yeah,
was I remember because. Toddy Marchant and David Oliver stopped and were talking to him. He was a little guy. Like they were all so small. Alan Thicke, he was actually pretty good.
Alan Thicke, yeah.
I saw him wheeling around out there. It was pretty funny though, man.
Ontario Mom says, always bet on high-end skill. Oilers have more and the best of it. Doughty is 35. Kopitar is 37. Well, they don't play like it, brah. I'd rather have Doughty.
He doesn't play. Look, what he was able to do with the Four Nations, like you could see he was a step up, but by the end of that thing, he was unreal.
Yeah. And Kopitar hasn't missed a beat. Like, let's be honest here.
The first year in how many years he hasn't led the Kings in scoring? Like, come on.
Coyote Steve says, Vegas, Colorado, Winnipeg, and LA will move on to the second round. Coyote Steve's just a ray of sunshine, right?
You never know. I mean, the thing that, and it was, said this before, but Jaromir Jagr said it was back with the Flyers, man, and they won a series, and he was complimentary of his group, and he said we matched their work ethic and their execution, and then our skill level is so high it's only a matter of time until it takes over and we win. And that's, I think basically that's what.
I mean, Ontario Mo's not wrong.
No,
I get it to a certain extent, but the Oilers this year, since Four Nations, have struggled in the details, defending off the rush. Goaltending has been okay, and now, in fairness, they've had a lot of their top dogs out, right? So,
what do you think they need to? Where do you think in their game they need to change things to be successful? Is there any changes that they really need to make? I mean, aside from the obvious things, like goaltender has to play well, but is there any of those little intangible things that you've seen in the years past from the Oilers come playoff times that you haven't really seen from this team?
No, because I think come 8:22 when the puck drops, this team's going to be all out. Like, they're going to be physical. This is a team that's been there, done that. Listen, I'm going to give my predictions at 240, but I think the Oilers are going to be fine. Like, I don't have any now. It's all almost like individual stuff I'm worried about. Stuart Skinner, can he hold the fort? Can Evan Bouchard step up his game? Can Emerson, Kulak, Wallman elevate their game as well in the absence of Ekholm? Can the Oilers get secondary scoring? Right? Like, is he going to have to go nuclear here? Which we hope not. I really hope he doesn't. Now, power play, special teams. Like, there's so many little things that you can look at in this series, and that's why I think it's very even.
The one area I think that needs to be corrected is you cannot pass up an opportunity to shoot the puck.
Yeah, enough of that. Too much this season.
That's the one area where I think there has to be a kind of a shot caller moment with the coach going, boys, if we're in a good opportunity to shoot the puck, you can't be looking to pass it through a guy's stick to hope to hit a guy backdoor with a sauce pass or something. No. Like, it has to be on net, right? That's the one area. Because Kings are stingy. You fight. You fight for those opportunities, and if the puck goes to the middle of the ice, and I think it was Kelly Rudy that broke it down on Hockey Night in Canada last night with the Leafs. Once they got to the middle of the ice, puck was going to the net. Right? It seemed like a conscious kind of thing that they were doing throughout every single line. As soon as they got the puck to the middle, everyone knew it was going to the net at that point, and they created havoc. So I think that's the one area offensively that the Oilers really need to focus on. Enough of the ticky-tack.
Because the Kings gave the second least amount of goals against, right? Like, they're very, like, Winnipeg was the only team better. So
they're like you with Bubbles, stingy.
Oh, Bobby LaFrench makes a good point. Ekholm is 34 and you can still make a difference. Hell yeah. Like you're not, if you're an Oilers fan, you can't tell me you're not going to miss Matthias Ekholm at 34 years old. Like that guy is rock solid.
Yeah. Yeah. You betcha.
Coyote Steve says, so many cans for the Oilers. This team isn't as talented as last year. Best team and it's not playing. Hard to be positive, but we'll see. I wouldn't say they're less talented. I mean, Arvids and Skinner, they have a lot of talent. Now in this regular season, they weren't up to snuff until the later stages. I think that's fair to say, but I wouldn't say they're less talented. I mean, I think Frederick brings a different element. Now, in fairness, we've only seen 7 minutes of him.
Yeah.
But do you think they're less talented?
No, it just hasn't shown the way I think. Part of it is kind of weird because watching last night, it's amazing. I mean, I played hockey for a long time. I've watched it for a long time, but even I was impressed with the physicality and the effort level of all these other games. It wasn't like watching regular season games at all with any of these playoff series. There was volumes turned up, and it's just like, oh. And I think as watching the Oilers over the past few years, you remember the big moments, and they've all happened in the playoffs and that level. And so that's what I think we've become accustomed to. But it's so hard you can't play at that level for 82 games. It's impossible.
No.
So you talk about the switch. These guys, this is maybe why they went with you hope is the reason for the more veteran lineup. Because sometimes younger guys can get caught up in it a little bit too much. Look at the Ottawa Senators last night. What we'll probably see from the Montreal Canadiens today too. No, the skill level of these guys should present itself in a 7-game series. I think it's more conducive to that, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a great series. And I know a lot of people are a little bit down because it's the 4th year in a row, but I'm kind of excited for this series.
Yeah, why not?
Especially with the cross-check to Byfield's head from the last
the way
games,
the way it all
blood.
ended. Yeah, this is great.
It's going to be.
That's another thing. Discipline. The Oilers have been a pretty disciplined team this year, right? They haven't let a lot of things bother them. There's obviously moments and things like that, but is that somewhere where the Oilers can exploit the Kings a little bit? Maybe. I don't know.
Kid, I mean, with Deneau's comments that they have their B squad out here trying to hurt us, that was. I mean, there's a lot of bad blood going into this game. A lot of the same guys are on their team still. So I think this is one of the best series of the first round. I truly do. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be tight games. I don't see a blowout either way. I don't. I think there's going to be a lot of rough stuff, and it's going to come down to maybe 2-3 things. And the big one, and you said it, your X factor, Stuart Skinner. Mine's Evan Bouchard is defending and goaltending for the Edmonton Oilers. If they can lock that down, they can beat anyone. Joaquin, let's look around the NHL today. Montreal kicks off their series in Washington. Game 2 between the Blues and Jets. And game 2 between the Stars and Avalanche. What are you expecting from the good old Les Hebs? They get Demidov, who's been really good. They're a young team. You think they can pull off an upset, or you think there's going to be a quick series?
The Canadians are kind of built skilled, smaller, speed, and you have to give them a little bit of a. I think they'll win a couple games, but when you look over at the Caps, they are big, they are fast, they are good all over. They're a phenomenal hockey team, but they're also playing a team that they should beat too, right? Again, with a little bit of doubt, but I can't see the Montreal Canadiens being able to match up over a 7-game series with that type of beef on the other side. Like that, was it Paris and
Protas is out.
Oh, is he out?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a big loss.
He got hurt in, I think, the second or third last game of the season. Logan Thompson's day-to-day. But Charlie
They said he
Lindgren-
might be back though, today, right? I think I saw something that said, he was first off at today's skate. So
okay, so he's back.
I think he's back.
Good for them then.
Yeah, so that's encouraging. But I just can't see that. I don't see them winning, even with the Canadians. I mean,
Game 3 though, the pregame when they come on to that is gonna be amazing.
you want to watch? Yeah, games 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I watch the start because they are gonna be
Unreal.
Yeah, best building in the league by far.
Does St. Louis and Dallas tie it up today in their series?
I think St. Louis ties it up.
Okay, me too. I think Colorado beats Dallas again, especially with Landeskog back. Oof.
Emotional lift there.
Gabriel. You know that's my middle name.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's my son's middle name.
For real? Cool.
Yeah.
But why Gabriel for you guys?
Archangel Gabriel.
Okay, cool. It's my grandfather.
Really?
On my mom's side, yeah.
Huh.
Cool.
Why was he named Gabriel?
I have no idea. Let me ask my mom. I'll call her in the break. All right, we're going to get to a break because we got John Hoven. He's been covering the LA Kings for years, does a great job. He's buddies with Dennis Bernstein, who's going to join us on the pregame show. He's from Mayor's Manor. He's very active on Twitter as well. We're going to get the LA Kings side of things. How are they feeling? Because this is going to be an electric series. But first, the afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. We're at 120 thumbs up, only 30 more for our playoff number of 150. Keep hammering that thumbs up and hit us up on the nasty chat, River Cree inbox 780-218-9999. We head to LA next here on EST Afternoons. Here's Koob, Sports Update.
Oilers Kings game 1 down in LA. Stuart Skinner starts for Edmonton. Head coach Chris Knobloch saying that Trent Frederick is a game time decision. He continues to recover from an ankle injury. And Leon Draisaitl and Jake Wallman both return to the Edmonton lineup. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas bring you the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Extended playoff coverage 90 minutes before puck drop. Live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. Tune in at 6:30 only on EST. And there's 3 other games around the NHL. Game 1 between the Caps and Habs opens up the night before the Blues take on the Jets. Winnipeg up 1-0 in the series, while the Avs hold the Stars 1-0 entering Game 2. On the court, there's 2 games. Pistons battle the Knicks. Game 2 after Detroit dropped Game 1, while the Nuggets tip off against the Clippers. Denver leading 1-0 in the series. In Edmonton, born Ansi Sala has been promoted to general manager of Atlanta after the Hawks fired Landry Fields. From Houston, the Jays challenge the Astros. Kevin Gausman starts for Toronto, seeing 8 games around the MLB. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc, they're the experts you need to know. And from Mayor's Manor to talk some LA Kings, John Hoven joins us after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
It's 2:21 here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, live from the William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. It's Oilers game day, game one, baby. Oilers Kings, 8:22 puck drop. Tom Gazzola will be live from Boston Pizza Westgate. Go hang out there. I think Rob from the Grove texted and says, "Hey guys, I'm heading to BP's Westgate for the game tonight. It's going to be fun. Lieutenant Eric, Dusty, Trev will all be there. Of course, Tom Gazzola. I'll show up for a bit for the first two periods. So it should be a fun night as the Oilers get set to take on the LA Kings. And we're going to head to LA to talk all things Los Angeles Kings with John Hoven, long time covering the LA Kings for Mayor's Manor. John, how are you doing on the afternoon of game one between the Kings and Oilers?
Well, if you're not doing excellent on opening night of the playoffs, then something's wrong with you. So, although technically I guess the playoffs opened a few days ago, for the Kings and Oilers, it all starts tonight with game one. So it's a great day to be alive.
John, it's the fourth time in a row these teams will meet in the first round. I know Joaquin and myself are kind of looking at that this might turn for LA this time around. What does LA need to do here to get by the Oilers in the first round?
Well, I know it's a cliche, but I would say just play their game. And what I mean by that is this might be the fourth time in a row, or it is actually the fourth time in a row, but it's not the same two teams.
Yeah.
You know, not only on the Edmonton side with the loss of players that they've gone through and the turnover, the Kings are a very different team this year. The Oilers are facing a Kings team that has a different goaltender for the fourth straight year, and the best of the four in terms of Darcy Kemper, who put up a Vezina level, season this year. Beyond that, the Kings had 30% roster turnover in the summer, and they added what they felt were key additions specifically for the playoffs. Guys like Joel Edmondson, guys like Warren Fogle, etc. So they're a better built team, and they're a better coach team as well. For all the foundation that Coach Todd McClellan was able to put in place, Jim Hiller has been the one that's come in and really found a way to galvanize this team. It's more of a cohesive group, certainly than they were 1 year ago as well. But to answer the question, play their game. They've been good at home all year. They've been solid on the road when Darcy Kemper was in goal, and they've also beaten a lot of the best teams around the league, whether it's Winnipeg or Edmonton or whoever, Vegas, etc. So as long as they just continue to play that game, they should do very well in this series.
John, I remember, I think it was the end of last season where a question was posed to Drew Doughty asking about the rivalry of these two teams meeting in the playoffs. And Doughty kind of referred to it as a rivalry is when you actually beat the other team. This team's been kind of beating the snot out of us for 3 years straight. It seems like he's taken a completely different approach, and being part of the leadership group, what is their message to maybe some guys that haven't been part of this, and how are they going to implement a game that looks like it's the best yet of a chance to get past this first round?
Well, first of all, Drew is an emotional person, and he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And so one of the great things that we've been blessed with when it comes to Drew Doughty for 15 years in Los Angeles is his willingness to speak his mind, which in kind of a homogenized league, that's a rare thing when most guys do just talk a lot in cliches and give the same answers pregame and postgame. Drew Doughty will tell you exactly what he's thinking anytime, any day of the week. And he's right. For a true rivalry, there has to be some balance that goes back and forth. And that hasn't been the case when it comes to Edmonton and Los Angeles, at least recently. And even if you go back as far back as the 90s, when Gretzky was here in Los Angeles, kind of that one team that they could never seem to get over the hump of was the Edmonton Oilers. So there's a long-standing, sort of history, if you will. I don't know if I would call it a rivalry necessarily at this point. But what Drew and Kopitar and some of the other veteran leaders will be able to communicate would be some of the recent history in terms of what they needed to do to be able to slow down the Oilers, and how Mikey Anderson maybe played against Connor McDavid, or what Phil Deneau was able to do, and those sorts of things. And then also can talk about areas where they were exploited on the penalty kill, on the power play, things like that. And they, would need to obviously shore those areas up going into this series. But again, more than anything, Coach Jim Hiller has been talking about it all year, that this is a different team. It's a different time. And I think that most of the focus will be on what they've been doing this year that has found them a lot of success, which is stick to their defensive identity and chip in with goals where necessary, and also roll the four lines that they've been doing here over the last, 6 or 8 weeks since the trade deadline, since the addition of Kuzmenko, and how he's allowed some of the other players to sort of slot in. I really don't think that the message heading into game 1 is going to be very different than it was at game 70, game 75, and so on. This team's been fairly consistent throughout the year, especially on home ice.
John, Andrei Kuzmenko, outside of his first year, he's moved around. He's been in and out of lineups in all his stops, but it seems like he's really found a home in LA. He's going to be playing with Kopitar and Kempe. I know in the game we saw him late in the season, he looked really, really good. What do you make of Andrei Kuzmenko and finding a nice spot there with the LA Kings in their top 6?
Yeah, it was a really a great addition by GM Rob Blake. That's paid off probably even better than he expected. Kuzi's a pretty special player when he has the puck on his stick, and it takes a specific type of player to play with Andrei Kopitar. You look at the number of wingers that he's had through the years, and when one really works, they go on and have a lot of success, whether it's Dustin Brown or Justin Williams, etc. However, there's been a rotating cast of characters over the last couple of years. Kempe has submitted himself over on the right side on that line and had a lot of success there, scored another 35 goals this year. For Kuzmenko, it was a little bit of an eyebrow-raising moment, to be quite honest, when in his first game, Hiller put him up there on the top line. He thought, well, that's kind of curious for a guy that hasn't really scored a lot of goals this year. I think he had 6 goals coming in at the time of the trade deadline. But it's worked out. It's been magic. It's been beautiful. It's been wonderful to watch. If you like the game of hockey, you like watching that line play because they can do some really special things. So Kuzmenko's been everything that they needed. And like I said earlier, it also has allowed some of the other lines to settle down in because now you're not trying to fit somebody up there and therefore breaking up another line, calling a player up to that top line with Kopitar and Kempe. So everybody's sort of settled in. Fiala has his position, Laffy, Fogle, etc. They're all kind of where they need to be. Kuzmenko's been a great fit and been pretty much a point-per-game player starting at around Game 6 with Los Angeles.
And getting anything out of coaches this time of year is, you might as well be trying to get secrets out of the Pentagon. But Jim Hiller, what do you think kind of matchup is he going to look to go up against either Draisaitl or McDavid? Or is it more of a trying to hold these guys at bay by committee?
Well, that's a great question, and you're absolutely right. You're not going to get anything out of Hiller or any of the other 15 coaches in the playoffs. And if they do give you something, you should be worried that they're trying to throw you off the scent and give you wrong information. I guess, and I'm assuming that instead of it being Kopitar and Deneau that are going to carry the heavyweight, I'm thinking it's going to be more Deneau and Byfield. At least that's what I'm expecting. look, Quentin Byfield has really come on this year. He was up on the top line again, the rotating cast of characters. He was up with Kopitar last year as a winger, but he moved back to his natural position this year as a center. Has really grown into the position. You hear his teammates talk about he manhandles guys in the corners now and things like that. He's just a lot stronger. He's a lot more confident, and, he has those young legs. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a mix by committee at times, just because Kopitar is such an important part of the defensive identity of the LA Kings. But it wouldn't surprise me at all to see some of those minutes that might have normally gone to him in terms of chasing Draisaitl and McDavid around the ice. And maybe Byfield gets a little bit more of that this particular year. So again, one of the many things that's different between this series compared to the last, to the last three.
Last one for you here, John. I know it's a busy day for all of us here involved with the Oilers and Kings covering this series. John, X factor for the LA Kings. Who would you say is the X factor?
Actually, I would have to go back to Quentin Byfield. I think that when you could certainly say it's Warren Foegele because he's the sneaky guy on the team. He flies under the radar. Everybody talks about Fiala and Kopitar and Kempe or Kemper or even Doughty. There's just not a lot of talk about Warren Foegele, and he certainly gets things done, especially 5-on-5 for this team. Had a career year, and it's just from day one, he is fit like a glove in Los Angeles. But the reason that I would have to say that I probably would give a little bit more of an edge in terms of an X factor to Byfield is just what we were talking about. He's now back at center. He has his own line, his ability to create, what he's able to do on the power play as well, and how he can give them a different look. Just what he might do in terms of matchups with McDavid and Draisaitl, like we were just talking about as well. I just think that this is a different Quentin Byfield, and it's an internal addition. So they didn't go out and sign a free agent. They didn't go out and make a trade.
Yeah.
But this is a very different Quentin Byfield than what we've seen over the last couple of years in Los Angeles. And this really could be a coming out party for QB.
John, great stuff. This series is going to be exciting, nasty. It's going to have everything. Enjoy game one tonight, my friend, and I'm sure we'll have you on again. Enjoy the game, bud.
Most intense series of the first round. Hope everybody tunes in.
All right. That's John Hoven from Mayor's Manor. He's been covering the Kings for many, many years. Does a great job. Good buddies with our good buddy Dennis Bernstein as well, who will join us on the pregame show at 10 after 7. So make sure to tune in as we'll chat with our buddy DB. Man, Quentin Byfield, that's a good one. Like He's not the same guy as last year. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that. Like, this guy's a beast.
Yeah, he's the Edmonton Oilers' Dylan Holloway. Ooh. Too soon?
We were going so smooth.
Maddie was doing it all last week. Don't worry about
it. How was it working with Maddie?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys didn't argue?
No.
No? Oh, no. Wow.
Just talking about how you subbed me the whole week prior. Right under the bus.
No. Hey, quickly, F1.
Quickly.
Not the best race. Some fireworks to start.
It was a good race.
Verstappen has to give up the 5-second penalty. He's like, if there's a guy, an athlete or whatever you want to call it, that I dislike the most right now in my life, it's Max Verstappen.
Why is that?
He's just such a little baby. Like, you're great. You're one of the greatest ever, and you're such a little, you know what? Like, it's like you went off, buddy. Like Piastri, like every commentator, every expert said,
Piastri was at the apex. Like his friend was there, and Piastri just did what Max does to everyone else.
Exactly.
And he was on the other end. And look, he could have given the place back, right? But they even talked about it. I think he likes to put it in the hands of the stewards to make the decision. Because when you look at it, that 10-second penalty, if he, and who knows, things can change, right? But if he gives the place back, maybe he battles a little bit more and can. But the pit stop for McLaren was bad.
Yeah,
and he got right back into it. I mean, Max is doing phenomenal.
He's great. But you know what, Yuki, unfortunate for Yuki and
he had to retire. But
because they both said they're like, it's no one's fault. It's a racing incident.
It's
right? A racing, yeah. And that was cool to see. But Yuki's doing well in that car. Liam Lawson continues to not. Did you see Lance Stroll? He's got he broke the record for most Q1 not qualifying.
He's 10th in driver standings, though, I think.
No, he's been good this year.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Isaac Hajar getting a point. That's huge. I mean, it's Williams is right there.
Hajar was so happy.
Oh, my God. You see that? That was great. Mercedes kind of had an off. Like, I thought they were going to do better.
Yeah,
I really, and Charles was great. Like, he was close, man. Lando was reeling him in. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed the race just because that track. It's so, when you go to the helmet cams, man, it's crazy.
I know there was a gentleman yesterday on Twitter, and he made a point where he's like he's a little unhappy with F1 because he goes, look at this track. You can barely side by side race because something's gonna happen, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he goes like he feels like he wants more more competitive racing, and it still is, Joaquin.
Because there's that one, I think, going into I forget what turn it is, but it was where Lewis kind of was battling and retaking the lead from Lando there. They were going back and forth, and just because the DRS was so powerful, and you play that game of chicken, but that's the only place where you could really consistently do it without, both taking yourself out of the race. Yeah. So next year, no more DRS, right? So it's going to change because I think in certain spots on tracks, the position, because they moved the DRS in that track for this year. So it just makes it only a few places where you can pass. And now cars are going to be smaller, right? No DRS. And they're supposed to be designed for even more close racing and not eating up the tires as much. So yeah, there's something to look forward to for next year. But like you said, some of these tracks,
like once you get out in front, you're pretty much set.
It's going to be. There's only a few tracks where it basically boils down to qualifying.
Yeah,
which was great.
Oh,
qualifying was unbelievable.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was real fun. It's been a great season, though.
Well, look at the points, man.
It's not Verstappen dominating every damn race. Right?
Yeah, he's not going for Sunday drives like before, man. This is it's crazy when you look at the drivers' standings right now. Piastri 89, Piastri 99, Norris 89, Verstappen 87, Russell 73. Then it drops to Leclerc 47. Kimi Antonelli, 38 points, he's sixth in his first year as an 18-year-old. That's awesome. Lewis Hamilton, 7. Albon, 8. Esteban. And our boy, with the weight of a nation on his shoulders, Lance Stroll at 10th with 10 points.
More importantly, I'm still in the top 10 with both my teams in the F1 Fantasy League.
Look at you.
Let's go. And I didn't even set my lineups while I was in Mexico.
Wow.
But I'm pretty happy with my lineup, so I was like, I'm fine. I didn't want to log in and change anything, so I was like, just let it roll. Joaquin, up next, our final segment before Game 1. Get some predictions. We'll talk about some interesting things being said about Elias Pettersson, not only from the head coach, but from the GM president. Like, it's fascinating. And this just coming down the pipe from Elliot Friedman. Hearing the Kraken are making a coaching change. Dan Bleisman will be let go and a full search will begin. Wow.
Really?
One season, man.
I have to punch up that resume.
One season. We're back after the break. We're 19 away from our playoff target of 150. Don't let us down. It's Oilers game day. Oilers Kings, 8:22 puck drop. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We're back to wrap up the show and tee up the Reed Wilkins, who will go 3 hours and a half today. That's commitment. Reed and Jay at 3 o'clock. Here's Koob, Sports Update.
It's game one, Oilers and Kings tonight. Trent Frederick is a game-time decision for Edmonton. Stuart Skinner gets the call in between the pipes. Join Tom Gazzola on location at Boston Pizza Westgate as him and Hernan Salas go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show 90 minutes before puck drop at 6:30, only on EST. There's 3 other games on tap. Avs captain Gabriel Landeskog has been activated off the injured reserve ahead of game 2 against the Stars. Dallas dropping the opening game 5-1. And from Winnipeg, the Blues look to tie their series with the Jets at 1 apiece, while the Canadians and Caps drop the puck in the opening of their series. And according to Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman, the Kraken are, quote, making a coaching change, letting go head coach Dan Bylsma. NBA action sees Detroit on the road in New York against the Knicks in Game 2. New York taking Game 1. After that, the Clippers and Nuggets clash, with LA losing Game 1 by just 2 points in overtime. And the Jays are back in action on an 8-game MLB slate. Kevin Gausman takes the mound for Toronto in their opener against Houston. The final segment of EST Afternoons before the Reed Wilkins Show kicks off at 3 o'clock brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
I think the Kings are very, very good. I think the Oilers will be able to figure it out. I'm pushing my chips in on this series.
What?
The first time they played 7. The second time they played 6. Last year, 5. Oilers in 4, everybody.
Wow!
Write it down. They're going to sweep them. They're going to shock the Los Angeles Kings and the hockey world.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Let me see that song. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
.43 final segment here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubusch, Hernan Salas with you. Reminder, Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne, coming up at 3. They'll take you right up until 6:30. Then Tommy G will jump on. Take you right up until 8. And then we'll be live at BP. Well, we'll be live from 6:30 at BP's Westgate. I recommend trying to reserve a table maybe. If you're going to walk in, might be a little tight in there. A lot of people going. So make sure, let us know what you're doing for the game. We got one gentleman making a brisket. One gentleman's going to be Westgate. Are you going to the Boss Pit? If you are, please behave. 10 away from 150. We can get there in about, 10 minutes, Joaquin?
Sure.
I quickly want to get to Rick Tocchet. And today Rutherford spoke following Vancouver being out of the playoffs. And it's fascinating to me that Tocchet said that Elias Pettersson has to work out more, be more dedicated to his craft and all that. And then today Rutherford says Pettersson wasn't prepared properly for camp and the start of the season. That became one of the issues. Like, this blows my mind for a guy that signed that kind of contract is I think for all of us we thought he'd be an absolute superstar. Well, maybe not a superstar, but an actual star. And this year, he was just off the whole time. You had the whole JT Miller saga. What do you make of these comments being made, not only by the head coach, but it seems like many people in the Canucks organization about Elias Pettersson?
Well, the first thing when you say he needs to work harder, that's they start looking at all the stats from the testing and measuring them up to everyone else. It was always Miller was like the best conditioned guy, and I think before that, memory serves correct, it was the Sedin twins, right? Yeah. They were beasts. They were the physical specimens or the bar set of where you should be at the start of the regular season. And what gives me a lot of pause here with this is usually, and this is, it's completely natural. You just gravitate to people from your home country, and you would think because the Sedins are involved with the Vancouver Canucks that Elias Pettersson would probably be close to them and learn from them, and it baffles me that they wouldn't probably work out together. Because when I played in Sweden, it was almost they worked out harder off ice than they did on half the time. It was just that was part of their training regimen, and to hear that and just not have maybe more of an influence from the twins to help him out, that's concerning.
That is. And listen, I wouldn't put this on anyone else. This is on him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like the Sedins can be like, hey, buddy, like, want to do this, do that. But if he doesn't want to, he just won't, right?
Because the Sedins you would see them from my friends back home telling me they'd be up at the grouse grind and doing all the they would be out and about, and you could see like they were
beasts.
Just training, getting ready. So, and maybe that's just a little bit of the light the fire. Right. So hopefully he can get back because he's a fun player to watch when he's on his game.
When he's on, he's got one of the best shots.
He's top 10 skilled guys in the league when he played. Like some of the stuff that he was doing when he first came into the league, I was like, wow.
Yeah. He's an excellent player, but to be called out about his workout habits and training, and not by just the coach, but by the president as well. Like, ooh, that's tough. So Arthur Staple, who's with The Athletic, covers the New York teams. He says he's hearing also a change in the Seattle front office. Jason Botterill, new GM. Ron Francis will be team president. Wow. Holy smokes. So who was the GM there? Sorry. GM Ron Francis will move up. And then assistant GM Jason Botterill promoted. Interesting. Seattle's not messing around, Joaquin.
Well, they had some early success, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you look down the road to Vegas, the team that was the last team to kind of come into the league. They haven't had close to the success, right?
Yeah.
And everyone probably thinks that, well, Vegas, well, how do they do it? They just don't care. They're the Honey Badgers.
I just don't think Seattle has a really good roster, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Vegas they hit it lucky, I think, a little bit with the amount of players that were bubble guys. Like those players that should probably play in your top 6, but the teams that they were on were log jammed and bigger contracts. So, and Vegas did a phenomenal job of saying, hey, we're going to take this guy unless you give us this. Like they basically held guns to all the other GMs and at ransom and did a great job of grabbing guys. And they got a lot of the players, if you look at their first year roster, a lot of those guys had chips on their shoulders because they were like on that outside of that top 6.
Yeah.
And then they all went in and just excelled.
Vegas did a masterclass on how to
build a team. Yeah,
man, holy to get
Theodore. And still do.
Yeah. They
see that hurdle goal yesterday.
Yeah, it was good. He's a good player, man. I like that series, man. Don't sleep on Minnesota. They're healthy.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens tonight.
Hey, Mexico? What was your favorite part?
Oh man, there's so many.
What was your worst part?
The resort was awesome.
Yeah.
Clean. Like the food was fantastic. We did some a la cartes. We did the buffets. The breakfast was top notch. They had 6, 7 pools.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can choose. The beach was clean and it was safe.
That the worst part?
What?
Pool.
No. That was
Even
fun.
when your dart went out when you went in the pool?
You can't smoke in the pool.
Oh, okay.
You got to go off to the side. Going into the city was great because it's got a lot of history.
Oh yeah.
We saw the markets. It's always cool to see the city. We did cliff divers. These guys are insane, Gager. You should see where they jump. I have a video of it. Absolutely insane. We hit some restaurants in the city. Phenomenal food like ceviche, and we love seafood. And cheap, my friend. No, all in all, it's just a phenomenal trip. Very relaxing. Like I said, lots of good food. We had our drinks. The shows were okay. There were some better than others.
Nights, yeah. Those are funny.
So it was great, man. Hot every day, like 28 to 30 degrees.
Oh, that's all right.
Sunny, yeah. So just relaxing. It was great. It was great to go away. I haven't been away in a while, man. It's been like 6 years since I've gone on a vacation.
Really?
Because COVID hit. Right. And then I started working for the Elks and I couldn't travel in the summer. Right. Like I still traveled. And the airplane experience, both there and back, were really good. Not a lot of turbulence.
Really?
Pretty smooth. Yeah.
Gummies? Weed gummies?
No, just
Ambien?
No, you know what? On the way back, I fell asleep and you have that kind of that half sleep, like you still kind of.
Yeah.
And I woke up and we only had an hour and a half to go.
Nice.
So I was like, so a little bit of reading, a little bit of music.
Nice.
And some snacks on the way there. Full plane. Because it was funny because I'm so used, like with the Elks for 3 years, it was all charter.
Yeah.
And it's so easy.
Yeah.
And now we have to go you have to wait, you have to load, you're cramped, the full airplane, you got to go through customs. You know the whole way. And I'm a very impatient person, so it was driving me crazy. It was like, where's my charter at?
How'd the proposal go? She say yes?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
No.
Get down on one knee?
No. One day.
Oh, okay.
One day soon.
What do you?
No, we had a great time. It was phenomenal. And you know what? It's just you meet people from all over the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great. A lot of Canadians, man. Lots of Canadians. Yeah.
Well, from what you read, they've all changed from going to the U.S. to Mexico, right?
It was funny. It was funny because one of the party people, like the MC or the host, and
by the pool.
Yeah, no, it was in the show, and he's like, "Where are my people from Canada? Where are my people from Mexico? Where are my people from the U.S.?" It's great. He's like, "It's okay, you're safe here." It was pretty funny. So they got some good jokes. So all in all, it was good fun. Like I said, great resort. It's called the Real Emerald Bay. Okay. In Mazatlan, so we recommend, especially if you want to go with families. It's like I said, it's got.
Oh, you didn't do the adults only?
Yeah, like the pool we went to was adults only.
Okay.
They had one where they had the bar and stuff, but then they had different pools for relaxing for kids and it's just
swim up bar.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Those are cool.
Did you have the life vest on just in case?
No.
Just water wings?
No. I was fine. For both of it.
Honey, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Joaquin, I know you did your prediction last week. What was it?
It was Kings and 6.
Okay. I'm going to give mine. And Koob, you got to give yours. Yeah, people are not going to like our show after this. But
no.
I don't think it's a quick series at all. I think every game is going to be competitive. I just think the Oilers are walking in a little off right now. I don't know. It's just a feeling I have. So I'm going to say Kings in 7.
Ooh.
Koob?
Well, I guess I'll lighten it up a bit here.
You always do, buddy.
I try. But no, it's hard to discount McDavid and Draisaitl. Really, they have two bona fide superstars, they being the Oilers. The Kings do not have that. They might have the better goaltending on paper and definitely the better back end on defense. They're not playing Josh Brown on their team. So, the Oilers don't have Matthias Ekholm.
Way to lighten it up.
Yeah. But with that being said, the superstar power of the Oilers, I think they're They're going to take over the series, so it's going to be Oilers in 6 is my prediction.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. All right. What say
we'll
you?
keep some listeners.
I know people are like, we can't all pick the Oilers. Like, and listen, last year I had no issues picking the Oilers. I thought the Oilers were going to roll them, and they did. This year, I just think it's, like I said, there's something off with this team since the Four Nations. And that's just
Look,
my gut.
I'm not saying they can't win.
No,
but
of course
the
not.
question marks of who's healthy, who's ready to go. Like it's cloak and dagger to try to, most of the other teams, except for a handful, you knew what this game 83, the starting lineups were going to be.
Yeah.
And Oilers, we still don't know.
Yeah. And that's what I mean.
Of key people.
Of course. And Ekholm's a huge loss.
It's too big.
It's too big. So again, of course, do I want the Oilers to win? Of course I do. Do I think they can win? Of course I do. But you're asking me for a prediction, and I'm going to say I just think it's I do the Kings in 7. Rip City Step says Iwanyk is going to score a shorty tonight. He's going to eat the Kings 5 forward power play unit like he's Tommy Neer at unattended food.
What is
Rip City? If Iwanyk scores a shorty, you're gonna get a lot of love tomorrow. A lot of love.
What's the story? What are we talking about most tomorrow, 1 to 3 on EST afternoon?
Oh, good one. Goaltending.
Koob, what do you think we will be talking about most tomorrow at tomorrow's show about tonight's game, Oilers Kings?
Well, that the Oilers always seem to drop game 1 with Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid somehow in the lineup, and to look forward to game 2 is basically going to be the big story.
All
right. We got to get out. It's Reed Wilkins, J-Mill, coming up from 3 to 6:30. Then it's the pregame show. First one for game 1. Tom Gazzola live from Boston Pizza Westgate at 6:30. We'll take you right up until 8. Then following all the action from LA. Post-game show. Keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. For Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubusch, I'm Hernan Salas. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll chat in a bit.